Hey gang, I'm back again today. I've had a little surgical procedure on my face, so now that I've drawn your attention to it, I want you to forget it. I want to talk to you today about the power of encouraging yourself. You have to get a system of encouraging yourself, because when you're a leader, whether you're a leader of a large corporation or a small business or a pastor like myself, you're gonna have times where you get discouraged. And you know what? People like to follow encouraging leaders. Leaders that encourage their employees, encourage the people under them. And if we're not encouraged ourselves, then we're not gonna be able to encourage other people. Now here's the deal, as leaders, sometimes it's a lonely position and there aren't other people around you to encourage you, so you have to learn to encourage yourself. Very often I talk about this law of emotional energy and how that we need to make more deposits than we do withdrawals. And if you're always giving and not taking in, there'll come a point in time that your serotonin levels deplete and your dopamine levels go down. And if you keep living that way, sooner or later you'll burn out. And I don't know about you, but I like to follow leaders who are bubbly and they're encouraging and they're up the majority of the time. And in order for you to be that person, you have to learn to encourage yourself. Because I'm a pastor, I looked at a passage in the Bible the other day dealing with King David, and how that he was going through a very discouraging time. And it says that David knew how to encourage himself. And this one passage, he did 6 things that I'll tell you about real briefly to encourage himself. Number 1, it says he arose from the ground. Previous to this, he'd been laying on the ground, crying and praying and grieving. But there came a point in time when David said, I can't stay discouraged. I have a job to do. I'm gonna have to get up off the ground and start living again. Then after that, it says he washed himself, and I think that basically means he got rid of the dirt. Sometimes when you're discouraged, there's a reason for you being discouraged. And you might have to write a letter to someone or make a phone call and say, you know what, I'm gonna get out of the mully grubs here. I'm gonna get out of this mood that I'm in. The third thing David did is he anointed himself. That is, he reminded himself that he was a human being. And no matter what his status was in the kingdom, all human beings, they fall down, they make mistakes, they get discouraged. And so he reminded himself that he was a human being, but yet he served a big God. Then it says he went in and changed clothes. In other words, he said, you know, I've been down long enough. It's been this length of time. I need to prepare myself to re-engage with people. And then he went and worshiped and ate. Now, I don't know where you're at with God, but you need to cultivate a life with God. And for me, that's reading my Bible, listening to good upbeat music. I'm telling you, you have to have a system to encourage yourself, because again, leaders sometimes find themselves in lonely places and there's not other people around encouraging us all the time. So whether you follow the Bible or whatever, you must learn to, first of all, recognize when you're depressed, recognize when you're discouraged, and then get into your system and say, I'm gonna go wash myself, anoint myself, change my clothes, or I'm gonna talk to myself, I'm gonna listen to good music, whatever. Learn to encourage yourself. God bless. I'll be back soon with another point.